I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mike. Hello to all of our wonderful listeners wherever you are in the world right now.
It is so great to be with you today. Mike, why do you look so tired today?
Oh, Sarah, I had the worst experience yesterday afternoon.
What happened?
Well, I wanted to buy some fresh bread from this bakery my friend told me about. You know, the one with the amazing sourdough.
Oh, yes, I know that place. Did you find it?
Eventually, but it was a disaster.
A disaster? It's just a bakery, Mike. How bad could it be?
My phone died.
Oh, no.
Yes, the battery just gone, and I was in a neighborhood I don't know very well.
Wait, so you had no map, no GPS, nothing?
Nothing, just me and my terrible sense of direction.
This is going to be good. What did you do?
I had to ask people for directions, like the old-fashioned way.
You mean actually talking to strangers?
Yes, can you believe it? And here's the funny part. I asked 3 different people, and they all gave me completely different answers.
No way.
I'm serious. The first person told me to go straight for 5 minutes. The second person said, turn right immediately. And the third person, she looked at me like I was crazy and said the bakery was in the opposite direction.
So where did you end up?
I walked in circles for 20 minutes. I was so lost.
Did you finally find it?
Yes, but only because I saw the sign by accident. Pure luck.
Mike, this is exactly why we need today's topic.
What topic?
How to ask for directions in English, and more importantly, how to understand what people tell you and not get lost like Mike.
Hey, I eventually found it.
After 20 minutes of walking in circles.
Okay, you're right. I need this lesson too.
We all do. And before we start, we want to remind you, if you're enjoying Everyday English Academy, please hit that subscribe button.
Yes, please. And give us a like. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
Share this episode with your friends who are learning English. Learning together is more fun.
All right, Sarah. Let's help people avoid my embarrassing situation. Where do we start?
Let's start with the basics. How do you actually ask for directions? Mike, when you stopped the first person yesterday, what did you say?
Well, I tried to be polite. I said, "Excuse me."
Good. That's the perfect start. Excuse me is how we politely get someone's attention in English.
Right. And then I said, "How do I get to the bakery on Main Street?"
Perfect. How do I get to is one of the most common and natural ways to ask for directions.
It sounds simple, right?
It is simple, and that's the beauty of it. You don't need complicated English. Just, excuse me, how do I get to the train station? Or, excuse me, how do I get to the museum?
What if you want to sound a bit more formal?
Great question. You can say, could you tell me the way to? This sounds a little more polite, a little more formal.
Could you tell me the way to the library?
Exactly. Both phrases work perfectly. Use whichever feels more comfortable for you.
Now, here's something important I learned yesterday. You should also ask if the place is far.
Yes, because sometimes people give you directions to a place that's 30 minutes away on foot.
Exactly. So after you ask, "How do I get to the bakery?" you can add, "Is it far from here?"
That's so useful. Is it far from here? This tells you if you should walk or maybe take a bus or taxi.
The first person I asked yesterday said, "Oh, it's not far, just 5 minutes."
And was it 5 minutes?
It was not 5 minutes, more like 15.
Yes, people have very different ideas about time and distance.
So true. Some people say 5 minutes when they mean 15. Some people say close when they mean far.
That's why it's good to ask follow-up questions. You can say, how many minutes roughly?
Ooh, roughly. That's a good word. What does that mean exactly?
Roughly means approximately, about, not exactly, but close to the real number.
So, if someone says it takes roughly 10 minutes, they mean it might be 9 minutes or 11 minutes or 12 minutes, somewhere around 10.
Exactly. It's not precise, it's an estimate.
I love that word. How long does it take, roughly?
Yes, or how far is it roughly? Very natural, very useful.
Okay, so now we know how to ask for directions. But Sarah, the hard part is understanding the answer.
Yes, this is where it gets tricky.
When that first person started giving me directions yesterday, she spoke so fast. She said something like, go straight ahead, then turn left at the big tree, then go past the coffee shop, then
Wait. Too much information.
exactly. I was so confused. I just smiled and said thank you, but I had no idea what she said.
This happens to everyone, Mike. Even native speakers sometimes can't follow fast directions.
Really?
Really? So let's break down the most common words people use when giving directions. First, straight ahead.
Straight ahead. That means continue in the same direction, right?
Yes. If someone says go straight ahead, it means don't turn left, don't turn right, just keep walking forward in the same direction.
Walk straight ahead for 2 blocks.
Perfect. Now, what's a block?
A block is the distance between 2 streets.
Exactly. In cities, a block is the space between one street and the next street. So 2 blocks means you pass 2 streets.
Okay, that makes sense. What other words do we need to know?
Around the corner. This is super common.
Around the corner. So it means very close?
Yes, it means the place is just past the next turn, very near, very close.
The post office is just around the corner.
Exactly. It's so close, you just need to turn once and you'll see it.
That's helpful. What about when people say things like, it's next to the bank, or it's across from the school?
Ah, yes, these are location words. Next to means beside, right beside something.
The pharmacy is next to the supermarket.
Yes, and across from means on the opposite side of the street.
So if I'm standing in front of the supermarket and the pharmacy is across from it, I need to cross the street?
Exactly. You need to go to the other side.
Got it. These words are really practical.
They are. Now, here's another word you'll hear a lot. Go past.
Go past?
Yes, go past means you continue walking beyond a place without stopping there.
Oh, so if someone says, go past the coffee shop, it means I walk past it. I don't stop. I keep going.
Exactly. Go past the park, go past the school, and then turn right.
That makes sense. So I'm using that place as a reference point, but I'm not stopping there.
Right. And speaking of reference points, do you know the word landmark?
Landmark.
Is that like a famous building?
Yes, a landmark is a well-known place or building that people use to give directions, like turn left at the big church or it's near the old theater.
So, landmarks help people explain where something is.
Exactly. And if you're in a new city, it's good to learn the main landmarks so you can understand directions better.
That's smart. Okay, Sarah, here's my question. What if someone gives you directions and you just don't understand?
This is so important, Mike. You need to speak up.
But I feel embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. It's totally normal. You can say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Could you repeat that, please?
Yes. Or you can say, I didn't catch that. Catch means understand in this context.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
Perfect. People will understand and they'll usually explain slower or more simply.
What if they use a word I don't know?
Just ask. Say, what does that mean? Or where is that exactly?
It's better to ask than to walk in the wrong direction for 20 minutes.
Exactly. Learn from your mistakes, Mike.
I definitely did. Oh, and here's another thing that happened to me. The second person who gave me directions said, go down this street until you hit a dead end.
Ooh, dead end.
Yes, I had no idea what that meant.
A dead end is a street that doesn't continue. It just ends. There's no way to keep going forward.
So it's like a wall or a fence at the end?
Exactly. The street stops. You can't keep going. So you have to turn around or turn left or right.
If you hit a dead end, you've gone too far.
Yes, that's a very common sentence. If you reach a dead end, turn around.
That's such a useful phrase. I wish I knew it yesterday.
Well, now you know. Okay, Mike, let's talk about something else. What if you need to give directions to someone?
Me? Give directions?
Yes, maybe a tourist stops you on the street and asks for help.
Oh, that happens sometimes. I always feel nervous because I want to help, but I'm not sure how to explain clearly.
The key is to keep it simple. Don't give too much information at once.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine someone asks you, how do I get to the library? Don't say, go straight ahead for 3 blocks, then turn left at the green building, then go past 2 coffee shops and a bakery, then turn right at the traffic light, then walk for another 5 minutes.
That's way too much.
Exactly. Instead, break it into small steps. Say, go straight ahead for 3 blocks. Then turn left. You'll see a green building. The library is next to it.
Ah, so give them 1 or 2 steps at a time?
Yes, and use landmarks. Don't say, turn left at Winston Street. Most people don't remember street names. Say, turn left at the big supermarket.
That's much easier to remember.
Also, if the place is really close, you can say, it's just around the corner, or it's across from here.
And if it's far?
Be honest. Say, it's quite far, maybe 20 minutes on foot. You might want to take a bus.
That's really helpful. I don't want to send someone walking for an hour when there's a bus.
Exactly. And if you're not sure about the directions yourself, it's okay to say, I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Maybe ask someone else.
Better than giving wrong directions.
Absolutely. Honesty is always best.
You know what I find interesting? Different countries give directions in different ways.
Oh, yes, this is so true.
Like in some countries, people use compass directions. They say go north or go east.
Right. But in many English-speaking countries, people don't use north, south, east, west very much for everyday directions.
What do they use instead?
They use landmarks and left-right directions. Turn left at the bank or go past the park.
That makes sense. It's more visual.
Yes, and in some countries, people use time instead of distance. They say it's 5 minutes away instead of saying it's 1 kilometer away.
I've noticed that. In English, people almost always say minutes, not kilometers.
Exactly. It's a 10-minute walk is much more common than it's 800 meters away.
And what about pointing? Is it polite to point when giving directions?
It's usually okay if you're pointing at a building or a street, like, see that tall building? Go that way. But don't point at people.
Good advice.
All right, Mike, let's practice a bit. I'll ask you for directions and you give them to me. Ready?
Ready.
Excuse me, how do I get to the nearest coffee shop?
Oh, sure. Go straight ahead for roughly 2 blocks, then turn right. The coffee shop is on your left, across from a bookstore.
Is it far from here?
No, not at all. It's just around the corner, maybe 3 minutes on foot.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. How was that?
That was excellent. Clear, simple, and friendly.
Thank you. I feel more confident now.
Good. Now let me give you directions. Ask me something.
Okay. Excuse me, could you tell me the way to the train station?
Of course. Walk straight ahead until you see a big church. Go past the church and keep going for about 5 more minutes. When you reach the traffic light, turn left. The train station is right there. You can't miss it.
Wait, I didn't catch the part after the church. Could you repeat that?
Sure. After you go past the church, keep walking straight for 5 minutes. Then turn left at the traffic light.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. See? If you don't understand, just ask. It's totally fine.
This is really useful, Sarah. I think our listeners are ready to ask for directions now.
I think so too. Just remember, be polite, speak clearly, and don't be afraid to ask someone to repeat if you don't understand.
And when you're giving directions, keep it simple and use landmarks.
Exactly. All right, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's episode.
Before we go, we have a question for all of you.
Yes, tell us in the comments. Have you ever gotten lost in a new city? What happened?
Did you ask someone for directions? Was it easy or difficult to understand them?
Share your story with us. We love reading your comments.
And remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Everyday English Academy.
Click that subscribe button, give us a like, and share this with your friends who are learning English.
Thank you so much for listening today. You're doing an amazing job with your English.
Keep practicing, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid to talk to people in English.
Next time you need directions, you'll be ready.
Take care, everyone.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.